my heart, your hearth. Today, we enter hollow spaces. Today, we carry a new ember. Well, welcome to Embers, a Whisper and Flame podcast. My name is Michael, and I am the voice of Whisper and Flame, the voice that will guide you and journey with you these next 30 days. When your flame has burned down to embers, and all you can do is but whisper, you are welcome here. If you haven't yet, pick up a copy of Embers, 30 Days for Holding What Remains. It's a guided devotional journal that lets you encounter art and poetry and scripture and gives you space to write your story for yourself. Visit our website, whisperandflame.store, or our Etsy shop or Amazon. I'm a former staff pastor at an inner-city homeless shelter. I was a hospice chaplain working with patients facing the ends of their lives. I planted a church that welcomed deconstructing Christians before deconstruction was ever a common term. I met Jocelyn at the homeless shelter I used to work at. She was one of the women staying there. She was a beautiful woman, inside and out. She was fun and cool. She had tons of friends in the house. She was a mom to her son Max, who was living with his grandma while Jocelyn was getting back on her feet. She was an awesome person, and she was also a drug addict. Her addiction started in college at a local party school. It started with Adderall, a substance she thought would be more approachable than the harder street drugs. But over time, her addiction graduated to harder and harder substances. Honestly, some of the best people I've ever met have been addicts. She was a deep feeler, a truly fun person. She looked at life without flinching, and she was someone with real faith in God's love for her. Addicts are some of the most faithful people I've ever met, but they are also people who can't shake the monkey on their backs, this allergy of the body and obsession of the mind. A spiritual disease that whispers, "You don't have a disease." That's addiction. And that was Jocelyn. She graduated from our program. Her parents, her sister Jessica, her son Max were all there for the ceremony. She was back on her feet, and for a while, she did well. And then in early March, months after she graduated, we heard the news. I got an email with her full name in the subject line, and I got a terrible, terrible feeling. She had relapsed. She had been clean for years while she was with us and after, but once she got out, it became easy for her to go back to the old ways of coping. Her body had changed by then. It wasn't adjusted to the amount that she used to take, and she took too much this time. Jocelyn overdosed, and she died. Chapel services were always on Friday mornings, and I just so happened to be slated to do the one the day before her funeral. Most of the women living there knew Jocelyn. Some hadn't heard the news, and I was the one who broke it to them in my message, and they wept and wept. I'm going to read parts of the message I gave, March 8th, 2019. What kind of God would let us walk through the deep, dark valleys in life? Through the valley of the shadow of death, if He loves us. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Life is good, everything in order, calm and okay, but then the shepherd goes and does something crazy. The green pastures are long behind us, turning yellow now and dead. Long gone are the quiet streams. He's leading us into a land that's looking a little wilder. Rough rivers and sharp rocks. Life changed and not for the better, and our good shepherd seemed to have led us there. And He keeps walking, leading us into the deepest and darkest valleys where predators stalk us, the wind and the rain chill us, and on and on. The valley of the shadow of death. What kind of good God, a good shepherd, would do that? If God were in the business of making us always live in the green pastures in life, those places would become our idols. Those things, those comforts of ease and rest would then become our gods. God is not in the business of making our lives forever green pastures. Not yet. Right now, God is in the business, the painful business of creating intimacy and relationship with creatures who just don't want it, but who cannot survive without it. Why into the deep, dark valleys in life? Because He knows that it's only as we cringe away from what we're afraid of that we can cling to Him. Because we don't want Him. We don't want Him, but He still loves us and wants us to flourish and thrive, and only in Him is the chance to do that, to live truly as we were made to live. What do you think? Do you think it's true that we don't really want Him? What ways in your life do you see faith and doubt coexisting? I'm convinced that addiction is a tangible form of worship, and that each of us, in small ways and sometimes very big ways, give ourselves to our drugs of choice. They promise us life while robbing us of it. They promise to fill us, and all they do is leave an ever wider hollow space inside. And it leaves hollow spaces outside as well. There's a hollow space for Max now, for Jocelyn's mom, her sister Jessica. Addiction calls us not to abandon faith, but to co-worship. And Jocelyn had faith. She believed. She told me point blank one time. But she was also a paradox. In the journal, to begin Ember 9, we included a poem called Paradox. I'm light and shadow in equal parts. I find God in presence and absence, in the thunder and in the silence. I'm deeply faithful and often afraid. Jocelyn was a paradox, equal parts light and shadow, deeply faithful, but often afraid. And for her, where her faith and doubt coexisted was in the co-worship of Jesus and heroin. And make no mistake, she died for it. Not as punishment. God doesn't want anyone to die. Death is His last and final enemy that He will defeat, and that process already started in an empty tomb a long time ago. No, she died because she overdosed on what she thought would bring her life, and all it did was bring silence. A hollow space for those of us who loved her and think of her still. I concluded my message to the ladies that day reflecting on Jocelyn and being honest with them about where they were and what they were facing. I remember that picture Jocelyn took right after she did her intake here, right after she got here on that first day. I thought she had the most heartbreakingly hopeful face in that picture. And I just remember thinking that she really wants this. She really wants to change her life. And it was heartbreaking to look at then. And I can't even think about it now. Because make no mistake, you are here in a homeless shelter. And it is life and death for you. And I don't want to be saying the same things about you in a year. I don't want to go to your funeral and have to look your kids in the eye like I'm going to have to do tomorrow with Max. You take the wrong substance, you drink a little too much, you meet the wrong man, and we end up in our Sunday best while you lie there in a box. A hollow you in a hollow box, leaving a hollow space for all the rest of us, and you are you no longer. She had so much hope in that picture. And it seems like her hope has been lost. But Jocelyn's true hope has been met. Her hope is a gift freely given from God Himself. Her hope has a name, and her hope is a person who defeated even her death. So what hope do you have? What hope do you believe in? What's your hope's name? Let's sing to Him. And for us, wrestling with the hollow spaces in life where our faith and our doubt coexist, where our faith and our faith co-worship, let all of us pray together in our breath prayer. Inhale. I believe. And exhale. Help my unbelief. And again, inhale. I believe. And exhale. Help my unbelief. I want to know your story. We are committed to creating an intentional community of healing and healed people, sharing life and stories with one another. And I want to hear about the hollow spaces in your life. If you'd like to share your story with us or even join us on this podcast, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us on the Whisper and Flame Facebook page, the Instagram page. Send us an email at whisperandflame@gmail.com. That's whisper, the letter N, flame, @gmail.com. We look forward to connecting with you. Thank you for joining me today for Ember 9, Hollow Spaces. Pick up a copy of Embers, 30 Days for Holding What Remains from our website. Allow me to bless you as we depart for now. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift His countenance upon you and bring you peace. Join me tomorrow for day 10 of Embers, Unanswered Questions. Before you go, remember, even the grave is not godless, but a child's lost and found. You, yes, you are beloved, every scar, holy ground.